Hey guys, well, I was planning on going to the boat today with the rebuilt carburetor, but it's too hot. It's way too hot, and they were saying in the weather that it's going to be 108. I know that the beach is going to be cooler, but it is still going to be hot outside, and the air conditioning I already installed it, but it doesn't cool unless you're not going to get the cold unless you get into the cuddy, and I'm not going to be in the cuddy, so say, well, I'll wait a few days. So in the meantime, I decided to expand on my crazy invention, and I'll show you what I mean. I have here a water pump emergency system. The idea is to toss this over to the bilge, put it in the bilge, pump it out, and also this pump. So this pump puts out, let's see, 1,100 gallons. So it's going to be a total of 2,200. And the idea is to have this in some sort of an emergency little packet or box, or maybe a bag, or I got some heavy duty bags I can use. And in case, let's say you're fishing, I'm not saying you're sinking, but let's say you're fishing and you're backing into a fish. Man, this fan is really kicking hot air. Whew, don't need that. So if you get a big gush of water into the boat and goes down into the engine, my concern is if the water, and I seen videos, so I'm not making this up. I seen videos of people fishing large marlins and they're backing into the fish, and the waves, I mean big waves, are just boof coming into the boat. So let's say the water level goes up above, in my boat it goes above 1.5 feet. It'll reach the batteries, and it will kill everything. It will kill the radio for an emergency. It will kill the radar. It will kill everything. And yeah, I do have a portable radio, but to take care of that water, pump it out quickly, this is the idea I came up with. I'm gonna attach the wiring to this other one here, and so the idea is that it's a big water comes in, and whoosh goes down into the engine compartment. Yeah, I do have a bilge pump, and one of them is dead, so I got to replace it. Oh, that's what I was trying to remember what to buy. I went and bought a couple of things on Amazon, so I got to go back in there. Anyways, and then you open it up. You open up the thing real quick. And toss the pumps in there, put it in the plug before it kills the batteries, and you can quickly, it's going to be quicker than any hand pump or any bilge pump, because you're pumping out 2,200, which is kind of I'm kind of doubting that this thing. I mean, it says it right there, but I think I'm going to do a test with a bucket of water, and I'm going to put it in there. See how quickly it empties the bucket of water. All right, later. Okay, I got the electrical done. I got a bucket of water here, 5 gallons, and I got the pumps ready. And let's assume that we're in the middle of the ocean, we're fishing, and a wave appears and just swamps your boat. Big wave just whoosh. Or you're backing into a big marlin or a big tuna, and there's water coming in, water coming in. Once the water reaches the batteries, either the starting batteries or the house batteries, your whole system gets shorted out. It dies. You have no radar, no radio, nothing. The only thing you're going to rely on is going to be your little hand radio, and you hope that the signal reaches back to mainland. So let's say you get a lot of water in your boat and you try with your bucket, but how much how much water can you get with your bucket between the engines, and there's no room, all kinds of problems. So this is the emergency. So you're fishing, a lot of water comes in, and you see water come, a lot of water went into your boat. You say emergency, emergency. You plug this in, you throw the pumps in the water, and let's see how long it takes. It's 4:19. Both pumps are on the bottom. Water's coming out real quickly. And the bucket is dry. So that means that it took less than 30 seconds to pump 5 gallons. To make 10 gallons a minute, that's going to be a lot of water coming out of there. Instead of you, like one time I was fishing with some people, and the battery made a popping noise, like it had a short and a blue. And I went to investigate it. When I opened up the hatch, I had 1.5 foot of water in the bilge, and my pumps were the wiring for the pumps were broken, so the pumps weren't working. They weren't working. So what I did, I had this hand pump, and I started hand pumping out, and I couldn't figure out all the water kept coming in. The thing is that the seals around the shaft, they were brittle, they were dry, they were probably original, and they started failing, and started water coming into the boat, even as I drove, because it's a wet seal. Let me see, it's a wet shaft, and some of them, the new boats, have a seal on it with a hose, and it pumps the water out, but I don't have that type of system. So when the shaft moves, there is some trickling coming in to keep the seals moist, even though the seals are waxed with beeswax. So when I got back, I called the guy that works with me on the boat, and he came over. I bought the seals, and we put them on. All right, and we were pretty close to shore, only 5 miles or so. But if you're in the middle of nowhere, if you're in the tuna fields, or if you're marlin fishing out there, 80 miles out, 70 miles out, and you get water coming in, that's a good emergency water pump system to get you out of a jam while you try to work on the problem, or while you're driving back, and keep those batteries above the water. Because like I said before, the water hits those batteries, they short out, they melt, the cable just, it's you do not want to risk that. Once that happens, no pump, nothing's working. Nothing is working. And I've seen some videos on boats sinking because of that. That the water was in the hatch. They were under the hatch. They were fishing, and the water kept splashing on there. And yeah, you have some drains, but a lot of the water goes down into the engine compartment. And the water reached the batteries. The guy didn't notice. And all of a sudden, now the water is above the hatch, and is getting people's ankles wet, and pretty soon it's up to your half a knee, and then up to your knees. You're sinking. So you need to get that water. You need to get those pumps in there to pump that water out. Oh man, I went to get a paper towel because I'm melting in here. So the so the double pump system worked pretty good. Impressed with it. In the meantime, your other bilge pumps should be kicking in also and helping. And if the water is higher, if you have a bucket, get in there. What I did was I got them at where are they? Oh, they're on the car. I went and exchanged. I went to this friend's house, He was working at his air conditioning, and I noticed he had two small little Home Depot buckets. And I looked at him and I said, "Where'd you get those?" He goes, "I got them at Home Depot." I said, "Oh, I never seen them." So when I went by the next time, I took one of my new buckets because I have bought two, and I said, "Hey, I'll trade you the 10 gallon for the two little ones." He goes, the 5 gallons for the two little ones. He says, "Yeah, okay, So I got that, and then if I need to bail out with the little bucket, which is about 2 gallons, maybe 2.5, then if you can fit it there, because I tried fitting a 5 gallon bucket between the hoses and the engine and the deck, and it won't fit. And when it's an emergency and you're nervous and you're trying to bail out water and the bucket doesn't fit, believe me, you're gonna go chaotic. So it's better to have something that actually fits under there. You can scoop up and dump out while the pumps are pumping, while the emergency pump is pumping. And if there's more water coming in for some reason, then there's nothing else you can do. Get your dinghy and pump it, and get your life vest. But at least you have an emergency system that can help you pump out. And if you can have the engines running, that power is going to be fed into the pump and you can drive on your way back. So I think that's a good little backup. I met a guy in Home Depot and I was putting the hoses together, and I told him what I was working on. He goes, "Well, don't you have any bilge power?" And I said, "Yeah, but you know what? I think the broker that I bought the boat from, he said, no, it wasn't the broker. It was the surveyor. He said a 2-inch hole will bring in 10,000 gallons an hour." And I'm thinking, wow, but where's that 2-inch hole? I don't have any hoses that it's pumping water from the bottom. I think it's 1.25 inches from the through hole. But that's why I said, it's good to have something like that, just to have a little bit of peace of mind. Maybe it won't do the whole work, but I also got some wooden plugs. If one of those things break in mid trip, just push it over the side, get the plug in there, and hit it with a hammer. I got a good size steel hammer, and I got a good heavy mallet that I got in Harbor Freight, and that'll help you pound it into the hole to prevent any more water. You're probably not going to be able to prevent every little drop, but at least you prevent the big gushing current of water coming in, and then you can drive back and pump it as you go. Okay, so that's it for now. I gotta get out of this garage. I'm melting over here. I gotta put this stuff away. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you. The pumps are 1100, and I calculated it's pumping it's pumping 5 gallons every 20 seconds. So that means that it's pumping 30 gallons a minute. In an hour, that's 1,800 gallons. And that means that the full potential of 1100, it's kind of pumping below what it should be. And I think I know why. It's because the two pumps are attached to a joint, to a T, which is kind of slows down the flow to the main pipe going out. So the other way would be to have the two pumps with individual pipes under the same electrical setup, because I'm not going to redo the electrical. And then you toss one pump here, one pump on the other one, bring a hose to the edge and tie it, outside. And then another slight problem is that, being that this is not exactly a compact system, I have to find a box. I'm gonna go to Home Depot or maybe Harbor Freight, find a box that I can put this tight in a package, so I can put it under the table maybe. Or I don't have a lot of room on the boat. I don't think it will even fit in something like this. Um, and I don't want to go too big. Maybe if I put it in a bag or something. I don't think it'll fit. It has to be something compact. And I have this bag that I don't think is gonna fit all the hoses. So there's another issue. Maybe I should do a separate system that I could have two individual pumps. That means I have to buy another one of these. This did not come with the pumps, obviously. So I gotta see what I'm gonna do. I gotta roll it in a way that it'll fit somewhere. If it fits in that bag, I'll take it. I'll take it in that. But I had it in this bag. This is a market Trader Joe's. I had it in this bag, but it's kind of bulky and I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so to get the full potential of these pumps, they have to be separate. So it'll pump 1100 each, and then you get 2200. If you put them together, you're going down to 18. I don't know. I'll think on it. Maybe I'll take it just the way it is and hope for the best. We'll see. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.